modern like cellular and biological 3D imaging down to the molecule or the atom, it's not quite realistic yet, but it may be possible, especially with X-rays. And then there might be some other things we can do, but mostly X-rays. And you have to use 3D sensors and a very high-speed computer, like a quantum computer, that has a very high oscillation speed for the processing. And then you have to have a lot of memory. So like 3D computing with 3D imaging of like cells. Now that would be a different story for like human bodies. Now you wouldn't be able to maybe necessarily jam-pack human body data unless there's a hysteresis effect. You wouldn't be able to jam-pack the human body into imaging with X-rays, because it would be far too much data. But unless there's a hysteresis delay, then it wouldn't be achievable. But maybe if there was a hysteresis delay, it would happen consecutively every second, which means it would be on time when it synchronizes the identification of the location of atoms with X-rays. So that's what you're looking for, is the identity and the path of light as it identifies the electrons in the subject or the specimen, whatever human, whatever it is. You want to identify the path of light so that it can tell you where all the electrons are with X-rays, or even gamma rays. Gamma rays might be a subject. Magnetic fields are a subject. Electric fields are a subject. But they're not. If you do your quantum fielding properly, you're going to discover the best way is most likely X-rays and gamma rays to study matter and three-dimensional molecular cells and things like that. But like human biology, is quite dangerous to produce X-rays and gamma rays on a human. That's really bad. You don't want to do that. It could kill them or give them cancer. So that's why we can't really see what's going on inside of humans a lot of the time, is because we don't have the imaging that has the resolution down to the molecule. So basically, that's why medicine is erroneous, because they can't detect a lot of things in the human body and how it processes, especially chemicals or cells. But there's some things they can measure, but the accuracy of any one given thing is depending on like your quantum fielding. You really got to know that this is all a sequence of atomic matter, which is also what we refer to as voluminous particles in motion. And there is a law of volume that says that any object that exists must have volume or it ceases to exist, because that's just the law of volume. It's obvious. Can't exist if it has no volume. Take one of the dimensions of height, width, or depth away from it, it can't exist at all. It has no face, has no existence. It can't be two-dimensional, one-dimensional. Has to be three-dimensional or in the form of a polygon. But that's all you can really hope for, is that all matter is voluminous, because without that, you don't exist. So this is all about particles in motion. Everything we do, even Einstein's alleged space-time and gravity, is particles in motion. If space-time really exists, it's all about particles in motion. because it can't interact any other way unless it's particles in motion. If it was one solid volume, if space-time is one solid volume, then it wouldn't be right to say that it was. What would it be? I don't know. It would just be one solid volume. So, but Einstein claimed it was superfluous, which is known as the aether space-time fourth dimension time continuum. And it's not really time. It's not the fourth dimension. It's just some energy that's all throughout the universe. So it's made of particles. That's pretty much what it has to be. It at least has to have volume if it's not particles. And to interact with particles, it probably has to be particulate at some point. So Einstein thinks it's superfluous, which means it's a superfluid, which means it moves really fast, constantly everywhere. So it's particulate. It has to be. It has to be divided. Division is also a law. There are what we call the simple physics laws. You need to study these. They pertain to everything, really. They do. How you develop mathematical understanding of the physical world. It's called the simple physics laws. Get into them. The laws of motion, laws of time, the laws of change, the laws of speed, the laws of force, the laws of energy. There's simple laws that you will discover that will determine. And I'm not talking about any written laws. These are just basic, simple physics laws that will make a statement that if this occurs, this occurs. And because of this, this happens, or this doesn't happen. Stuff like that. It's really simple physics laws. So this video is going to be on the subject of 3D imaging and in modern physics.